Hello, 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 everybody. I know we're back again on another beautiful Monday. What can I say? And I know you guys say, does she say that every week? And the answer is yes. I say it every week because it is. It is beautiful. We are here. We are, whoo, what can I say? I mean, we are here. Let me just say that. I've been through some calls this past weekend of losses, of you know, I think we all have. So just knowing. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on a beautiful Monday. Just so you know, I'm excited about today. And before I get going, I to thank our live viewers and thank our replay viewers. All of you are so, so special. I don't even have the words to tell you how special you are. But thank you for being here. We're going to first thank our sponsors for today's show, and they are the Idea Club, and the president is Dumas Martin Jr. from theideaclub.com. If you're looking to have an S Corp, if you're looking to have a C Corp, a nonprofit, if you're looking, any of those entities, Dumas can help you with. And so you would go to theideaclub.com and just talk to Dumas. Next, I'd like to thank the Henderson Real Estate Team, to the hendersonrealestateteam.info. And they are, if you're looking to buy a home or sell a home, go to the hendersonrealestateteam.info. They'll be there to help you with that. Buying or selling, either one, they'll help you with it. Next, we have First Fridays Travel, if you're looking to travel. And that can be cruising, hotel, car rental, anything travel related, insurance. Travel insurance is real big, ladies and gentlemen. You definitely want travel insurance. If you're traveling, oh my goodness. We were traveling, we were in Punta Cana. My husband and I went to Punta Cana. They lost my luggage. We are in Punta Cana and they lost my luggage. But we had travel insurance. We had travel insurance. They ended up, I could purchase clothes, everything, and all I did was keep the receipts, and they refunded everything I spent. Think about that. And then I think it was something else they gave me on top of that, just because I had travel insurance. So if you don't have travel insurance and you're traveling, true enough, we left the United States. But even in the United States, think about these flights are canceled, all of those different things. Having travel insurance, they'll many times they'll put you up in the hotel. You may have to pay up front, and sometimes you don't even have to do that, but it takes care of all those things that we don't always think about. So I'm just throwing that in there. But travel insurance is a good thing to have. Next, this is really exciting. I don't talk about front page publishing. I don't think that much. Sometimes I mention, I guess. Front page publishing is a publishing company my husband and I own. And why I'm excited about front page publishing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, there is an opportunity. If you're not on the email list, you just go to marydwelch.com and you can join the email list. But if you're not on the email list, you can still, let's say you're a poet and you've always wanted to publish your poems, but you just never had a chance to, or maybe just didn't know how. You can become a part of this. This is a group of poems that we're putting, not just poems, it's short stories. The title of it is Transformations, and it is short stories, poetry, and events that have transformed your life, or events that you know about. Maybe it didn't happen to you, but you know about a situation, and that's when you can be part of that this project. And when the project comes out, it'll be out before Christmas of this year. Think about this window that we're in, and I'm really excited about it because I have met so many people that have been writing for years, have never published anything. Why am I excited about it? If you have anything written and you haven't published it, guess where it goes when you pass away? Nobody's going to care. It's going to go right in that trash can because they don't even know what it is. They don't know that you've been writing. They don't know anything. But what happens if it's published? I don't think it's going in the trash can. What do you think? It doesn't, because now you have a book. And many of you know, this is one of mine. I'm excited about Saying No Nicely. I'm putting it, the light is hitting it. Saying No Nicely, right there on Amazon. This is from another one of our authors who was here She when was Fayette a week ago. Really proud of her book. So it's why is Little Faye so happy, doing well on Amazon. Yay, Faye! And then here's a book. I'll use another one. These are all on Amazon, by the way. Have you seen The Red Elephant? On Amazon. The other one, this was by the author Justin S. Lowe. My Cat is a Spy. I'm too excited. Too excited. And not to mention the newest one. This is the newest one, just came out on Amazon. Peyton the Pink Whale with the yellow tail. This is my book. Too excited about that too. Not to mention, did I bring it here? Nope. Thought I did. And that was the book. Somebody mentioned that to me. They said, "What happened to your book about probate?" Nothing happened to it. I didn't put. Oh, here it is. I did bring it. It's right here. Oh, I'll take both of these for you. This is the one on probate. Save Your Home from Probate. And there's a California edition for those of you that live in California. And this is another book. This book is only in Kindle, and it's going to be put in paperback. Let me show you. This was the very first book I ever published. There's a rocket in my pocket. Yep. I'm going to tell you the story about that too. One of my sons said, "Mom, don't put that title on the book." And I said, "I have to." He goes, "Why?" We both. I said, "Because that's the title that was given to me." Now think about this. I didn't know that there was not another book. I never know any of this, by the way. When I publish, I never check to see if there's another title. I didn't really look. There has not been another book with my titles yet. Think about that. I forget how many millions of books there are. Not one has had the same title that I have. That's telling me that it's definitely God. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is definitely God. So I'm showing you all that. Let me put this up for you, ladies and gentlemen. And I said, and Richard, here you go. And Richard has a comment. Richard says, "Hello, Mary Welch. Hello, Richard." He said, "I was going to buy your book about probate on Amazon. Did you see the book in hardback?" It is in hard. You can get hardback or paperback. You can get both. Either or. Yeah, I know, huh? You know, what can I tell you? That book, and I will tell you, before I wrote the book, I had already helped over 100 families. That's what made me realize it was a book. I was helping families, and then I was like, wait a minute, you might want to put this in a book. That's how it happened. That is truly how it happened, Richard. And hi, Richard. Hi, Wilma. So, but I will tell you, it is one of those, it's important. Let me just say that. Hi, Art. Art says, "How about autograph copies?" That's interesting, Art. I haven't gone to autograph copies yet. And I'm considering having a book signing, which is funny you should say that, Art. Thank you for asking that question. And if I do a book signing, you would pay for it, and I would send you autograph copies. It will come to your house. I haven't done that yet, but I will. I'm going to do that because people do ask for them. The very first person that gets autograph copies of everything I do is Oliver. Oliver, who's our executive producer for the show, by the way. Oliver gets, before anybody gets one, he does. Oh, you don't see it in hardback on Amazon? Oh, okay. Well, let me check. I'll check with my assistant because it should be in hardback. I'll check, Richard. And Art, you would drive out? Well, would you, Art? Okay. I'll tell you, because if that's what you want, Art, we can set up. And like I said, I would ship it to you. I wouldn't want you to have to do all that. At what gas is, let me ship it to you. I'd rather do that than you have to go through that. But I wanted to share, and thank you, Art, for your support, and for Richard. Thank both of you. I really do appreciate it. But no, for right now, the only way, there is no way to really get an autographed copy. I just haven't been doing. I've only done, I think, a couple of book signings, but now the numbers of books are kind of, it's getting bigger and bigger. The one book I haven't even talked about, and I have to apologize to my book, and that is Stuck in the Elevator. Do you know? I don't know why that book is it's there. It's a children's book and I love it, but I haven't talked about it much. So I'm going to have to definitely bring that out next week. Stuck in the Elevator. It is on Amazon. It has the two hands where you're trying to open the elevator door, based on a true stories. When Oliver and I were in Brazil and got stuck in the elevator, I think it's San Pablo. I think that's where we were, and with 9 other people. That's a true story. That book, and it says on the outside, based on a true story, which it is. So that's why I wanted to share that with you. Let me put this. Oh, Art. Oh, I know. When your son goes, okay. And I'll tell you, all right, I'm not kidding. We're not even 2 miles from UCR. We're 1.5 miles from UC Riverside. That's how close we are to the school. Almost, I don't want to say too close, but we're definitely close. But definitely, I will work with that and get that for you. Okay, I want to make sure, what was it? Oh, this is what I want to put up for you. If you have ever thought about or let's say this, I won't say thought about it. You have something written, poetry, short story, memoir, and you like to be a part of it's called Transformations tonight. Go to Front Page Publishing and hit Anthology. This the meetings tonight, and it's free. It's all free. All you do is sign up, and you'll get once you sign up, you'll get the link for tonight's email, and we'll talk about. I'll let you know the deadlines and all that, everything that you have to do to submit. So your submissions, when you submit, everything. The goal is that this project, everyone in the project will become, now you're a published author. Now, I don't know about you, but that was a big goal for me. It was really, I can check that off I don't want to call it, they call it a live list. I'll go with the live list instead of the bucket list. On my live list was definitely to become a published author. And even now, you see the 2 books behind me, the posters for those 2. And I just put those up because people have asked, it's so interesting. The saying no nicely, all of a sudden, I don't know if people just need to say no more or what, but that's really I've been getting calls on that as to, they're like, what's the name of your book again? And I need to learn how to say no instead of saying yes to people. That's why I put that up. And Red Elephant, I just happen to have the flyer. Sooner, I'm going to have Peyton put into a poster also. All the books will be in posters. It's so much easier to put them up behind you when they're poster size. And I'll definitely do that. But I digress. If you have a book in you or poetry in you and you've never published it, these are original works. All these authors are original authors. I'm so proud of each and every one of them because it is so hard. We're so sensitive. Authors are so sensitive. Even though we probably couldn't tell it because you're saying, well, you wrote this book and that book. But if you look on my website, you will see where people wrote, they didn't say negative things. They just didn't give it a high rating. They put maybe a low rating. I mean, for the most part, it's high ratings. I'll look at and saying no nice. I think it was 17 5 stars and 1 less than 5 stars. So 17 people thought it was 5-star, credible. But you know which one I paid attention to? The one that said it wasn't. I remember telling my children that. I said, oh, one person said they gave me a 2 or 3, and they said, Mom, that's a hater. That's what you have a hater. That's what that is. I said, really? They're like, Mom, if you have a hater, you're doing good. You're doing good. Think about that. I said, really? From a hater? They're like, yep. You have somebody that they said, okay, how many books have they written? I thought about that. I said, well, I don't know. They're like, probably none. But they're hating on you. They took the time to hate on you. I said, wow. That was just like an epiphany. So, but I will tell you, ladies, gentlemen, if you have done any writing at all and you have not published, it's just as good as not ever having written anything. Because I'll just tell you the truth. If something happens to you, it's going in the trash. They won't even know what it is. And they're not going to take the time to figure it out. That's just the reality of the world we live in. But if you publish, guess what? That's a whole nother world. That's a whole nother world. So just know, publishing is not the same as just you have it. I've done this before, so I'm gonna do this really quickly for you now. This is what I use. That's it. Nothing fancy, nothing elaborate, but it's simple. And I have tons of these, by the way, now. Tons notebooks. But to be absolutely honest with you, if I did not publish it, my family would not even know what to do with it. But I publish it. Hello, Dumas. I'm glad you're here. And we're going to get started. Ladies, gentlemen, and let me take this off right here. Remove that. We are, I'm honored. Let me just say this. Our scheduled guest for today had a family emergency. I just spoke with her, and it was something going that I promise you, is something I think all of us have, at one time or another, probably have to deal with, but it's not something we want to deal with. And it's the kind of situation, it's a family emergency. That's what it is. We've all had family emergencies. So I just spoke with her about 20 minutes ago, and I said, why don't we do this? We're going to reschedule your show. We're going to reschedule it. And she said, thank you for that, because I'm just not in the frame of mind right now. When you're a family emergency, your mind isn't there. Mine isn't. I can speak for that. But I am honored because we have a guest with us today, ladies and gentlemen. And I've known this gentleman for quite some time. In fact, he is instrumental in organizing our corporations. Our parent corporation is called Center Stage Media. Then under our parent corporation, we have two LLCs, or limited liability corporations, which are Front Page Publishing and First Book Academy. And then in addition to that, we have a nonprofit called Main Ambition. And I like to personally thank this gentleman for helping us to organize all of this for me and my husband. And he has been instrumental in our lives as a consultant, more than I can ever imagine. And he is an entrepreneur from his heart. And I say from his heart because just knowing who he is, he always wants us to win. That's what he always says, for us to win. And he's going to come on. And I'm going to bring him on now. And his name is Dumas Martin Jr. He is the president of the Idea Club. And he actually, let me just tell you what he did, ladies and gentlemen. He stepped in. When we found out that our guest was not going to be able to attend today's show, Dumas stepped up and said, I'll be there. And he's going to talk to us about some things in the entrepreneurial field and other things. But I just want to first introduce you to not only the president of the Idea Club, but also a friend. So Dumas, are you there? Ooh, did I miss you? I see you. Uh-oh. I'm adding you. I see your name, Dumas. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I see a name up here. Dumas. Hello, Mary. Oh, that's Gwen. Hi, Gwen. She says, hello, Mary and Dumas. I'm clicking, but he hasn't been able to come in. I don't know why, but we'll figure it out. We will definitely figure it out. You know how technology goes. So I'm not even worried about it. But while we're waiting, and we'll just wait just a few minutes. For those of you, I did mention an LLC, and I mentioned and I think I did mention S Corp and C Corp. I'll just tell you what an LLC is and how if you're in the state of California, why you will want one. And then I'll let Dumas go into all the particulars. I'm well versed on some things, but I'm not well versed on everything, but he is more so than I am. An LLC is a limited liability corporation. That's what it stands for, LLC, limited liability corporation. Now, your question probably could be, why would I want that? To be honest with you, it protects you in a lot of ways. Because your corporation is its own. It's like a person, its own entity. So Front Page Publishing is its own entity. First Book Academy is its own entity unto itself, um, which really protects you if, and to be honest, if in the event you're ever sued, you would only sue Front Page Publishing. Let's hope it's never sued, but Front Page Publishing itself can be sued, but you would not be able to sue First Book Academy since they're not attached. Let me say that they're not one; they're separate. But the fee for this to happen in the state of California, you have to pay initial fee. I think it's like $79 to start your corporation, and then you pay annually after that. Let's see if I can bring you in. Oh, Dumas, I don't know why it's not letting you come in. I see you though, but it's not. Hold on. Oh, okay, I see that. So, but that's what that would be, and it gives you at your corporation. You get under your corporation. You set up your bank accounts. You have an EIN number. All of we have their business accounts attached to that. It's not just that it's just there. If we're doing business in those accounts, you have to have a bank account that your clients would be able to, whether it's write. I mean, some people don't write checks anymore, but that would be where they would write the check to. They don't write it to me personally as a person. They write it to the corporation because it has its own accounts. So that, and then it has its own accounting. All of this is why it's important to have your own corporation attached to whatever the businesses you're doing. Let's see. I see you, Dumas, but I don't know why it's not letting me bring you up into the screen. I don't know what's going on, but it happens. Technology, it is not perfect. But I see. Let me see. There, I said I'm clicking, but it's anyway. We'll get it together. We're still good. But that's why. But our parent corporation. Let me give you an example. Those of you, I'm using California. If you're from California, is ABC, NBC, CBS. I'll use those. Those are the ones that were around, the first ones, the originators, you could say. Now, it's ABC. ABC's parent company is Disney. I don't know if some of you may know that, some of you may not know that. Meaning the company that owns ABC out of LA is Disney. Think about that. So that means that Disney is like the mama of that company. But inside of that mama, all these other little companies are inside. ABC is only one. There's probably hundreds. It's only one in the inside of it. So inside of it, ABC, and who knows who the other 100 or some, I'm sure, that are beneficial or make money for that company. I think, let me see. So that's what it would be like. ABC, like I'm using those, ABC, NBC, CBS. So ABC, and they'll say sometimes they'll say it, the parent company, Disney. That's how I know it's the parent company. Ours is the parent company is Center Stage Media. So Center Stage Media is the parent. And the babies, which that's what I call them, the babies under that umbrella, under that parent, are First Book Academy and Front Page Publishing. Those are the babies that are birthed over that umbrella of that corporation. So that's how ours is set up. Now, and the goal is that you want everything set up correctly. You don't want it. You want someone, as Dumas says, that knows what to set up and how to set it up. You really do. You want. I know. Oh, that's my sister-in-law. Thank you. So you want to definitely set up where, just I would work with someone such as Dumas. Let me just say that. I didn't know how to do this. So we had to go to someone who does know how to do it, and someone that knows how to do it legally and successfully so that you're doing it correctly. And you're doing it for tax purposes also. So you have to set it up correctly. What's very possible, and why you want to do that. You don't want to do it incorrectly. Let's see. I see. I'm clicking, do my but so that's how you really want to take your time, work with someone such as either Dumas or someone else in that field. If you're going to work with an attorney in that field, whatever the case may be, take your time and set your companies up correctly. That's really, really important. It really, really is. Because for instance, we have a checkbook just for that one company. For that company, the income that comes in, then it goes out through that company. We pay the company bills through that company. So you don't commingle your funds. Does that make sense? I know I'm giving you guys lessons, and you're like, I didn't call in to see. You may be saying that, I don't know, but I'm saying that to say, and all this is part of being an entrepreneur. And what I think I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, and I just didn't know it until probably recently, not too long. Once the company started being more organized and things like that with the publishing company. Now we publish other authors. This has been really interesting. Our oldest author is 89. That is Dr. Henry. Our youngest author is 9. Both of them have books on Amazon that are doing very well. One is called Mia's First Sleepover, and Dr. Henry is From the Ashes I Rise. She just had a book signing about 10 days ago that was well attended. And you'll see a picture of the two of us if you go to my Facebook page. I would say to any of you, if you have a book in you, and I say this and I mean it, you don't have to use our publishing company, but get it published. That's all I would highly recommend you do. If you have any inkling that you want to write a book, don't sit there and say, oh, I'm thinking about it. Don't do that. And I say that because I cannot tell you how many people, I don't even want to tell you, that have passed away saying those things, saying, oh, I'm going to do it. Boom. And they're gone. And the I'm going to do it doesn't mean anything. And they never sat down and did it. They never wrote that book. They said they were going to write it, but they never did it. They never did it. So I'm almost like I'm begging you guys to do it, because some of you have fantastic stories in you, and you don't write it down. This is the one thing, like I said, I was saying a moment ago. This is it. I'm not out here walking on water. So I often say, I am not walking on water. I write it down. The very first book that I wrote, and some of you haven't seen it yet because I haven't published it yet. But don't worry, it's coming. It's called The Cake Shook. That's the name of it, The Cake Shook. That book, I took out literally a sheet of lined paper and wrote that book. That's it. As I said before, I didn't walk on water. I wrote it down. And when you don't write it down, this is what I believe. God will give it to somebody that will. If you don't take the time to write that, whatever it is, and this is what I would encourage you to do. This is the hard part. Don't edit. This is what people do. Oh, it needs a comma here and a period there and this. Don't do that. Do not do that. That's why we have editors. That's why you don't have to ever do it. Isn't that nice? There are people that's their job to do that. And I know because we hire those people. We hire editors because there are people that love to do that. I mean, there's a love to do it. They love getting the work and, okay, they can change this sentence. They love it. I've seen people that love it. So I'm saying this to you. Don't write and edit at the same time. Don't do that. Don't even try. Just write it down. The editing will come when it comes. Don't worry about that. The key is write it down. I'm going to say this 1,001 times. And I'll be saying this tonight for those of you that come. Let me put that back up for those that attend, because I get this all the time. People, oh, my writing is not that good. And I didn't do that good in high school. And this and that and the other. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, my high school English teacher probably would be shocked to know that I'm in published. They'd be like, what? But over time, I've honed those skills and worked on those skills because I want to be, and still, it doesn't end. It's never ending. It never ends. Let me tell you, I will, long as I can put it on paper, I'll be writing. But I'm saying it never ends. The creative process never ends, number one. Some of you have stories you don't think anybody wants to hear. And this, I already know the excuses. I already know. Don't even, I would tell you, take your time, write it down, type it up, and then now we can go. You have, because we can only work from a typed. It has to be typed in order for the editor to edit. They can't try and figure out your handwriting. No, they're not doing all that. It has to be typed up before they can work with it. They cannot work with material that's not typed up. That's really asking too much for somebody to do that. So let me say this again, because I know I'm talking to somebody. I don't know who that somebody is. That's why I put it back up there on it says anthology. It's really, what is your story? All of us. If you are living and breathing, you have a story. As I said, the youngest author, 9. Her book, Mia's First Sleepover. Those of you that, I know you're Googling it and you can see it for yourself. The oldest author, 89. From the Ashes I Rise. If you fall between the ages of 9 and 89, you qualify. That's how I look at it. That's it. I'm not saying you can't be outside of those ages. I'm just saying those are the ages we published for. But I will say this. Their books are on Amazon. Excuse me. Their books are on Amazon. They don't have to worry about that again. That's done. Mia's First Sleepover, that will be there. Here it is, a 9-year-old. That book, as long as Amazon's up, that book will be up. You know, that we know Amazon really, be honest, truthfully, it's relatively young. Relatively, all social media is young, if we be honest. So who knows where that book is going to go? And this 9-year-old wrote the book. It's going to change her life. She's now a published author, which her own children, her own teachers are not. For most of them, I can guarantee you they're not. So already that's changed her life. Already, and people ask, well, where'd you get the story from? And hers is done with kittens. I think it's so cute. So, and I do a lot of animal books, and those of you who haven't already noticed, between the red elephant and the pink whale, and I have some more coming too. But I will tell you, I did the one thing most people would not do, and that's write it down. They, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but they do not like to write it down. I'm trying to think of what can help you come to terms with writing it down. That is all you need to do. I know it sounds so simple. Maybe that's what it is. Oh, thank you, Elaine. Hi, Elaine. It's great information. Oh, you're welcome, Elaine. Hi, Elaine. How you doing? I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it sounds so simple. I think that's what it is. I think because it sounds so simple, we think it can't be that easy. Maybe that's really what it is. You guys, those of you that think, oh, no, she did more than that than just wrote it down. Nope. Now, I'll be honest. I wrote the story. I'm telling you my process. You guys get to hear my process. I'll tell it to you. I wrote it down. And then I typed it up. Well, first I wrote it down, then I read it to one of our grandkids. This is what really happened. Then I typed it up. After I read it to her and she started laughing. Then I knew I had something. So then I typed it up and I'm like, wow, these are my words and my grandkids are laughing at my words. I'm like, wow. I was shocked, to be honest with you. And oh, This is Art. Art said, just like a text message, you just have to do it. You're right, Art. You have to do it. Nobody's going to do it for you. Let me say that to all of you. But I'll tell you my process. And those of you that come tonight, you might hear the same thing. Usually, I start with the title. Let me tell you that. Usually, now I've been writing now for about 5 years, so now I start with a title. I didn't used to. Think about this. Peyton the Pink Whale with the Yellow Tail. That's all I had, if you can believe that. This book that you see now that's on Amazon, what this is all I had initially with this book. Peyton the Pink Whale with the Yellow Tail. Now, where that came from, I couldn't tell you. I always say it came from God. It came from God, because this is my process. I'm saying this because someone asked me earlier, a lady called, she's coming tonight, and she said, well, Mary, I don't have a title I'm finished with it, but I don't have a title. And I knew exactly that's her process. And I said, your process is just as good as my process. It is whatever your inspiration is. There is no good, bad. No, there isn't. But you know what? I'm going to speak to, and nothing. I want to first preface this. I'm not saying anything negative against English teachers. Let me tell you that now. I don't want anybody thinking that, because I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for English teachers. But I will say this. Sometimes, because they're so intent on the correction, that the creativity is lost. I don't know if that makes sense. That grammatically, the grammatics of your writing, I'm going to speak for me. My English teacher, it looked like my papers, it looked like they were bleeding. It was so much red on it. I would be so, I'd look at it, I would be so hurt. I would take the paper, and I'd turn it over. I didn't want anybody to see how much red it was on that paper. I did not understand until I was an adult that teacher was trying to help me. Think about this. I was an adult. So as a child, I didn't understand that. She was trying to help me. And all I saw was she was trying to hurt me. Think about that. She was trying to help me to become better at my English. But to me, I was writing like I was speaking, which I'm pretty sure was wrong. And that was all I knew. And she's like, no, that's not how you write. And, but I'll never forget the day I saw that paper, and I was like, I remember thinking, I will never write. I didn't even know I could write. Probably without even meaning to, it has suppressed my writing, because it looked so bad. The paper looked so bad. But I'm positive she didn't mean to do that. I'm positive of that. That wasn't her intent. Her intent was to make my English better. But I did, I think I was in like the 4th or 5th grade, something like that. I didn't get that message. I got the message of you can't write. I got that message. So that tells you sometimes the messages we send are not the messages that are received. They're just not the same message. And I have to say hi to my sister-in-law, Amelia. Hi, Amelia. I want to make sure I say hi to Amelia before we leave, because she was so kind. She sent me a message. So I would definitely tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot stress this to you enough. You are all creatives. I'm not the only one that can write about Peyton the Pink Whale. Nope. You have stories in you. I'm not saying that they're children's books. I don't want to give the wrong impression. But it could be something that happened to you as a child that would make a cute book. As I said before, Oliver and I were stuck in the elevator. That is now a children's book called Stuck in the Elevator. A children's book on Amazon. You can go in there and buy it. And I'm saying that to say I took a situation. I didn't have to even make it up. This is one that really happened, and turned it into a book. You have situations, you have something with your children that's happened that when you think about it, it brings joy to you. But have you ever written it down? Can you share that with anybody? Is there anything that maybe it's a poem that you wrote? Or maybe you didn't know it was a poem. I wrote one, and I was running it by one of my sons, and I said, and he's like, "Mom, this is a song." I'm like, "You're kidding?" I'm number one. Let me say this: I'm not a songwriter. Never have ever professed to be one, but he recognized it. He is a songwriter, by the way, so he recognized it as a song. I didn't really do that. I can't really say that I felt that, but he knew that's what it was. So you may be a songwriter, and that's what poetry is to me. If you're a poet, you're a songwriter. You're both. You're not just one, you're both. Because poetry and songwriting to me go hand in hand. If you can think of a situation, maybe something funny happened. It could be something at work. It could be something you went to the park and you saw something. It's endless. The stories are in. There is no end to this. There's no end. There is no end. That could be the title of a book. See, I tell you, because you know why? We think it's something big. I just wrote down, there is no end. I'm not saying that is a book. I'm not saying it's a title. I don't know. But one thing I have, and I think I've shared this with you guys before, I get a vibration. It's almost like something shakes like that. I cannot describe it, but I know it when I feel it. That's what I know. If I'm having a conversation, I have a friend, she said, every time I talk to you, you think you come up with a book. I said, it's not that. I get a vibration. So I know that that's a title of a book. I have lived at least 5 books from conversations with people. Think about this. A conversation. So the situation didn't happen to me. It was either their situation or they told me about a situation. And they've become books. Now, I must admit, they're not published yet. But don't worry, they're coming. They will be coming. The next one, after Peyton and Pink Well, it'll be out December 1st. The next book. And I can tell you the name of it and everything. So that book is coming December the 1st. Already. And I say that because it's situations. It doesn't have to be that I experience. It can be somebody else experience, or somebody tells me about a situation. That's another thing. That also works. And we've been trying to get Dumas in, and I don't know why they won't. The system won't let Dumas in. He's on the phone. I think that's what it is. I'm not sure, but I will tell you. So, if you have a situation, and I say situation, as I mentioned before, there's stuck in the elevator. That was a situation. We were in the elevator with 9 people. True story. And someone in the elevator, it was a man. I remember because I'm the one turned and he said, call 911. And I said, we're in Brazil. That's all I said. I didn't say, in other words, we are not in the U.S. Like you just pick up the phone. And I was right. They couldn't call 911. They had to use a crowbar to get us out. So that was a situation that turned into a book. What situations happen in your life that can be a book? I promise you have them. Or you can make them up. You don't have to have any. Peyton the Pink Well, made up. There is no situation. I don't know about a pink well with a yellow tail. I don't know of one. Have you seen a red elephant? Totally made up. I have never seen a red elephant. That's how the title of that book came, to be honest with you. I actually said that one day. I said, have you seen it? I just said the words, have you seen a red elephant? From those words, this is what you see. Think about it. Literally said the words, have you seen a red elephant? And the very first page, and this is dedicated to my husband. Most of my books are dedicated to someone. It just depends, because Peyton is dedicated to anyone that's been rejected. That's what that. But red elephant is, have you seen a red elephant take a bath? So you can see that. Then what does it say the next page? Have you seen a red elephant doing math? So What does this book do? It rhymes. And usually I say between 2 and 3 year olds, they love it. They love, which I personally work with the illustrator every single page. Work with the illustrator every single page, add this, take away that, whatever the case may be. But one thing we did on this one, I can tell you guys about this right here. They had the elephant looking like they were struggling. And I said, you guys, we can't have that. And the illustrator said, why? I said, because if a child sees an elephant struggling, what are they going to think about math? They think they should be struggling. We had to redo the whole character. This is the kind, I love all this stuff, by the way. Can you tell? But this is the kind of thing that can affect a child. Think about this. Because at first they had that child, the elephant, doing he was all like crazy. I'm tired, all caught up with the math. And then I said, make it look easy for the elephant. And that's what we did. So you guys get to see this book. And the next one, this is the red elephant doing math. Everyone says, have you seen a red elephant, by the way? Have you seen a red elephant reading a book? What do you see? So what does that encourage a child to do? I don't have to tell you guys. You already know. And what's the next one? Have you seen a red elephant try to cook? Of course, we haven't seen a red elephant do these things. But who cares? At the end of this book, every single child, every single one, and I do personal studies, I guess you could say. I watch kids when they're reading the book. Whether they know how to read or not, they are saying, have you seen a red elephant? When they get to about page 5, they get it, that this is going to be the first thing they say. And then they go to the next. Now, they may not know these words, but they know these words. They've memorized them that fast. And they know that's what the next one's got. So they see the elephant with the spatula. And what's the next one? Have you seen a red elephant wash his clothes? So, what do they know? The washing machine and washing the clothes. Of course, I haven't seen a red elephant doing that. But guess what? They keep the repetition of this. Somebody asked me one day, what is my favorite book? They're all my favorites. There is no favorite. It reminds me of telling somebody, what's your favorite child? They're all my favorites. And I know the only thing, and I have to apologize to Stuck in the Elevator, because I'm going to have to make sure you guys see the cover of that book too. And then I just saw Jeanette McGee. Jeanette. Hi, Jeanette. Jeanette says, hello, Mary. Yes, my daughter is a poetry writer, very gifted. I would love for her to get back into her poetry. Always love your show. Oh, whenever I get to see it. I love you, Sister Mary Dean. Oh, thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. And then Jeanette says, great information. I can tell you. You know why? I agree. This is great information, Mary. Thank you. We thank you. Thank you so much. And may God continue to bless your show and your ministry. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. And we got to encourage your daughter on your poetry. Got to do that. And then Art says, is it pathos? Art? Okay, Art, you have to help me with that. Okay. So I'm saying this to you. Now, you may say, this is what I've heard people tell me too. They go, oh, I could have done that. Now, I'm kind, because I say, and first thing I say is, you're right. I have a sign in here. I just put in here yesterday. It says, if you can be anything, be kind. If you can be anything, be kind. I'm saying that to all of you also. So I have it in my office, because I have to catch my breath when I hear people say those kind of things. And I tell them, it took me a long time to understand that this is not easy, but it's doable. It's doable. And I would love to see as many people as possible do this, because it's a legacy. You're leaving a legacy. And what I know too, the books will outlive me. That's what I do know. They will be here when I'm no longer here. My only regret, this is my regret, is that my parents did not live to see this. Both of my parents are both deceased, and they didn't see me write. I didn't write. Oh my gosh. My mother passed away. I wasn't writing. I hadn't written anything. Unfortunately, my father passed away years ago, and then my mother. But that's my regret that they never saw this. Even though my husband tells me they do see it, Mary. They do. They know. And I was like, oh, I just that's my grief. It makes me getting teared up just thinking about that. But I have two brothers that are deceased also. So I just the four of them never saw any of this, and that's my grief. That grieves me that they didn't get a chance to see it. But what I have learned to do is just keep writing anyway. This is why I really want to encourage this. This lady right here, and I'm going to show you Fayette's, but this book, she's writing a book right now with her and her granddaughter. Think about this. It's already started for them. It's no longer just her writing a book. Now her and her granddaughter are going to co-author a children's book together. When I tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, it changes the trajectory of your family. She's 4. Her granddaughter's 4. You think that's not going to be a positive influence on her, that she has a book with her name on it? I promise you it is. It's going to for generations. I told her, I said, you don't know what you've done for your family. You won't see it right now, but you will. But you will as time goes on. Your granddaughter, I mean, when I talked to her about them doing a book together, she's already started. It's already started. She's already started this, you can say, part 2 of Why Is Little Face So Happy. And I told her, don't be surprised. Your granddaughter will forever be thankful for this. That is for sure. Art says, you are talking about repetitiveness. Yes. That's for little children. Oh my gosh. Everybody, I've asked people that have had this book for their grandkids. One of my friends, I think I shared this with you. Okay. Thank you, Art. She had to hide the book. Hide the book from her granddaughter because the granddaughter always wanted to read about the red elephant. She said, Mary, you have no. She goes, I finally hit that book. Because what did she hear? She started reading it to her. She's 3. I think she's 3. The granddaughter's 3. I started laughing. I said, that's such a compliment. That is such a compliment. And she said, all I know is I've heard enough about that red elephant. Okay. And then you said, okay, that is okay. Thank you, Art. I appreciate that. So I would highly, highly, highly. This is what I tell everyone, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't write it down, it did not exist on this planet. And I'm not trying to scare people. I'm telling you the truth. If you don't write it down, if you don't make it concrete, if you don't get it published, it might as well not. It didn't exist. Because there's nothing for it to go on. There's nothing. There's nothing to refer back to it. There is no reference back to it. You didn't give it a place. Except, you may have written it down, but if you don't publish it, it's just as good as not having written it down at all. That's true. I tell anybody that. So I really, really, really encourage you. And I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the only one that can do it, because I'm not. There's so many publishing houses out here. But we'd love to work with you. But this is what I've learned. If it's for you, it's for you. If anything I'm saying today is resonating, I call it vibrating, then this may be something that's for you. But if you're saying, no, I said that for 25 years, by the way. My friend, some of you may have known, Jean Denny. I'm going to put Jean on the spot. Jean Denny is a prolific writer. And when I tell you she has plays, short stories, movies, poetry, you name it. And I look back, and for all these 20 plus years, over 25 years, I tell her, I'm not a writer. Think about this. I said it to her. I'm not a writer. And I said, you're the one that's a writer. I would carry the books. I would help her set up book site. I did everything. Never wrote a word. But when it was, I look back now, that just wasn't time, I guess, for me. Because now I write every day. Every day I write something. And no one could have ever told me that I'd be writing like this. But I think, too, I gave myself a chance to do it. Some of you may say, well, I don't have time. Let's be honest, who has time to do anything? Who? Nobody. We're all busy. Everybody, as they say, running around like a chicken with her head cut off. Everybody. So just know that it's not just you. It's our society. See, I wrote that. I'm writing this down. The chicken with their head cut off. I tell you, I don't think that's going to be a book, because I try not to write books that's going to scare kids either. But I really think about those kind of things. I know you may not realize it, but I was going to write a book about, it was a pot on the stove, and I scratched that book because I don't want a child to read anything that may cause them to do any harm to themselves or hurt themselves. So it was something, the pot, I can't remember how I went, but it was enough for me to come to terms with don't put that book out there. Because if a child gets hurt, I always feel like it was something I said. I want to be able to say things to encourage, or just sometimes it's just a cute story, but never something that they may ever reach up and touch something because they saw it in a book. So you'll never see it in a book like mine. I'm very conscious of that when I'm writing, of, okay, is this something a child may do or think about doing, or all those kind of things, because I'm really trying to make sure it's not something. I don't think I'm gonna see any kids running around up as a pink whale. I don't think so. And then the one I haven't spent a lot of time with, this is our son's book, Justin. This is his first book. And I love this, how his cat is a spy in the back. I just think that is so cute. The same artist that did this book did this book. This is the same artist, or same illustrator. They did both of these books. So she's really good. Now these are other illustrators. This one is another illustrator. These are separate illustrators. So these two. But that's the same. Isn't that interesting? And these don't look anything alike. Look at these two. Nothing alike. But it's the same illustrator. Sure is. So just so you know. So ladies, gentlemen, I know today's been an unusual day because I was trying to bring in Dumas, didn't get a chance to do that. But if I'm going to say this again, if you have any project you like to enter as the submission, there's a meeting tonight. You go to Front Page Publishing, hit Anthology. The meeting's totally free. You don't have to sign up for anything. All you're doing is listening, and then you can make a decision at that time if you like to be one of the submissions for this project. I am extremely excited. The signups are going really well. Some of you are getting the text messages or the emails. If you're not getting either one, you can send me a DM on Facebook. Go to my Facebook page, and it's Mary Welch, not the Mary D. Welch, the Mary Welch page. And I will add you if you want to be on the texting system. Then you leave your cell phone number. Or if you want to be on the email system, your email, either one. And you get the emails, honestly, in my opinion, you want to be on the email system. I only send text messages out once a week, but I email about 3 times a week. But I email some really, really good. I feel like it's really good. Some of it's historical. Some of it is what's going on in the community. It's so many good things. And I'm getting really good feedback from that. And so many people really appreciate. The one that had the highest open, and I'm down to 1 minute, of all the emails was Juneteenth. What is it? And that had the highest. So ladies and gentlemen, as we close, I'm down to less than 1 minute. Thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. We will be back next Monday, a week from today, for the same Mary D Talk Show. I love you, love you, love you. Talk to you in a week. And remember, come tonight if you can. Just listen in and find out what's going on. It's totally free. Take care now. Bye-bye.